So it is almost that time again. As we approach Halloween, it's time to start thinking about the Game Awards. 2025 is going to be on December 11th this year, and they said that the nominations are coming out mid-November, but I wanted to get a jump on things because I think there's a couple of wild cards in the nominations this year, but I think for the most part we kind of have an idea of what's going to be there, so there won't be any like breaking news on this. I don't think. I got a couple in there that might be surprising, but in my take and what I think is going to be the game of the year. So do me a solid, like the video, subscribe to the channel, do all that kind of stuff. Help support the channel. We're growing, getting bigger every day, so thank you all for the support. So let's get into the first one here. I think the first nomination is going to be Hades 2. Not necessarily in that order, but the first one I've got on my list. I think it's going to be Hades 2 getting a nomination. It's too big of a game for like an action roguelike to do the things that it does and to make the waves that it has. I think it's going to be pretty hard to keep it out of the discussion. Plus the first one was so popular. The second one is really good. So I think there's no way it doesn't get a nomination. This is a pretty easy call on this game. So what am I going for my second nomination? Well, I think it's going to be Hollow Knight Silk Song. This is one of those games that almost came out of nowhere with its release date, but people loved it. It's fantastic. Another tip to the hat to the team that put it together. Of course, for me, it's a feather in the cap because I love Metroidvanias. So just to see people doing this at such a high quality with such a high, look at that map. Good God, it's just a gorgeous game. So for me, this is a shoe-in. So 2 for 2 so far. I think these are definitely going to be in. I had a hard time keeping this to I wanted to keep it to just 6 games, but I'm going to throw 7 in there because I think there's no way that they do a Game Awards, and this is the one that I almost left out, but, well, this is one of the 2 I almost left out. We'll get to the other one in a minute, but Donkey Kong Bonanza. I just think there's no way that the Game Awards team would dare not have a Nintendo game represented. Though, if it were going to be a year, I think it would be this year. I typically don't think Donkey Kong Bonanza, like stacked up against this other competition, would be in the GOTY running. If Nintendo had another game out this year, like another Zelda or another Mario, I don't think Donkey Kong would be in there. This is a fine game. It's a fine game. It's a fun game. At the end of the day, I guess that's really all you want. But stacked up, this is a loaded year. I don't know. Number 2, be it surprisingly or unsurprisingly, would be Death Stranding 2. I think there's no way this game isn't nominated. It's got a couple things going for it. One, it is a great game. It is one of the better games that came out in a loaded 2025 as far as like Game of the Year contenders. It's a beautiful game. It has a lot of deeper meanings to it behind it as far as like not just the exploration and the hardware achievements that it has as far as like how it pushes the graphical boundaries, but it's a beautiful game. It has deeper meanings of connectivity. The character work in the game is really good. I love the voice acting. The voice direction is really good too. That's one of the unsung heroes of a lot of these voice acting achievements, is the direction behind it. But I think it's a great game. I think it's worthy of a nomination. Would I be surprised if it won? I would be. Would I be surprised if it was there? Absolutely not. It's deserving. For my next pick, I'm going with Ghost of Yotei. It is a beautiful game. It is a fun as hell game, and this is a deserving nomination. Do I think it'll win GOTY? I think it has a shot. Do I think I would put it as my GOTY? Probably not, but is it deserving? Yeah. I mean, it's graphically, it's amazing. The writing in the game is really good. The characters are great. The action, the combat is great. The exploration is great. And it's just a fun game. And it harkens back to that Ghost of Tsushima, kind of Akira Kurosawa style of storytelling. I think that's amazing. The cinematography in the game is excellent. They did a great job. Sucker Punch did a great job with this game. This will definitely be nominated. For my 6th spot, this is an interesting one. This is one that I've seen a lot of people talking about. I've done some digging. I've checked it out. Split Fiction seems like a very interesting kind of game. The kind of interesting, kind of obscure game that the Game Awards loves to throw a nod to for Game of the Year. I think it pushes the boundaries of some of the things, like as far as gameplay wise, narrative things. I think it's a wildly interesting kind of take on games that have done this kind of thing in the past, like as far as like interesting concepts. For me, the game doesn't do anything super crazy wild, but a lot of people are talking about it. It's got a lot of buzz. It's got a lot of smoke going into the Game Awards. I think it will get a nod. As far as some of the stuff that it does like cooperatively, I think that's the interesting thing of it. Like if you're into co-op, you gotta be into co-op games though. So Do I think it gets a nod? I think this will be one of the 2 surprise nods I talked about. Would I be surprised if it wasn't nominated? No. I don't think this is going to win GOTY, but I think it could be nominated. It's the type of game that the Game Awards would like to give a nomination to. So we will see. And by no surprise at all, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. This, my friends, for me, is the game of the year. This is the game of the year right here. Not only will it be nominated, I think it's going to take home the GOTY. This was the year of Clair Obscur. Like, this game was the game industry this year. Not only was it the game industry, it changed the game. It changed how certain companies were looking at how they were developing their games. This is going to be a zeitgeist for this generation. Not only for what it did graphically, for the turn-based RPG genre, for how games are played, for how games are developed, but also it raised the bar for small teams, small independent teams. This was like 33, 34 people that worked on this game. Small, super small team, got it done. One of the greatest success stories in the history of video games. This is exactly the type of game that Keighley and his team at the Game Awards like to champion. It will be nominated. I do believe it wins Game of the Year. And not only that, but thanks to this game and certain other indie games kind of like it, you know, the industry is kind of changing what they promote, the types of games they promote, putting it out there. We've talked about that before. I'm not going to talk about it too much in this video, but this right here, I believe this is our GOTY. And I think anything other than Clair Obscur, for me personally, I think anything other than this will be a disappointment because of what this game represents. Just how good it is. It's super incredibly good. The game, from the gameplay to the story to the characters to the writing to the look, the look and feel of the world map, the battle system, everything, top to bottom, the music, the score. We didn't even talk about the score. But everything about this game is just, the cinematography is just top notch. This is your game of the year. But what do you all think? Throw your comments there. What did I leave out that you think should be nominated for Game of the Year? What do you think is going to be the Game of the Year? Post your comments below and we will talk more about it tonight on Tuesday night, Coffman night, live at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check us out, hang out, like the video, subscribe, do all the things. Until then, you'll have a great night. Be safe, be good to each other, keep rocking, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.